Alright, guys, welcome to episode 3 of the Floowandereeze and Pidgeotto podcast. I'm Billy from Korea, Ricky Lee, and joining me are my two lovely, sexy hosts. Introduce yourselves.
I don't know. I don't feel too sexy today. My hair's being crazy. But I'm Ezekiel. You can also call me Zeke. Yeah.
And then there's this guy.
I, on the other hand, am feeling very sexy today, and my name is Austin. And I'm
Hells
here
yeah.
for the podcast.
We're all here for the sexy podcast. So Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon. Today we're going to be talking about simulators.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon are both trading card games played on the tabletop, but, we live in the digital age now, the 21st century, and everyone's got computers and Switches, Xboxes, PlayStations, and whatnot, so phones.
I will say, I do work at Target, and nobody's buying the new Xbox. Everyone's just just
throw
shitting
shit
on
in the
it
Xbox before the
hardcore.
episode even starts, huh?
Yeah. No,
So
like
what you're saying is you know a place to get an Xbox.
Oh, yeah. We have plenty.
What
We
the-
have so many.
The
Please.
Series S or something?
The Series X.
X, yeah. Can you tell I don't play X?
Yeah. No, like... I remember when Xbox first came. I'm sorry, we're already on a tangent.
No, it was the jam, yeah.
It was
the OG Xbox.
Yeah, and the Xbox 360. Everybody had
Dude,
it.
Gears of War, Halo, like you were the
Yeah.
cool kid if you had an Xbox.
Yeah,
Man.
and now everyone's like, I just want a PS5. Like we sell out our PS5s like the same day we get them.
It's a status symbol thing because like I've got a PS5 and like you can probably count off your hand how many games I've played. It's like it's cool, but it's like
But I mean, what would you play on the newest Xbox?
anything, man. Like the problem is like I played Demon Souls, which you can already
Minecraft.
play on like older systems. I played which is on the Holy Night, which you can play on PC. I played Elden Ring, which you can play on PC.
We played the cat game. Well, I played the cat game.
Is that only on PS5? I feel like
I
it's on
thought it
PS4.
I
I
thought
don't know.
it might be, but I feel like everything's also on PS4 because Sony's
Yeah, like I feel
we're
like
gonna make one PS5 a year. So
like there probably are people. I feel like most people are trying to be like, yeah, the PS5 you get because you can play the cat game. You know, like I mean,
You
it's
know
a
what?
banger game. It's a banger game.
I think it's worth it. I
Yeah.
think the whole PS5 is worth it for Stray. If you
But what
haven't
else
played
is
Stray,
worth it?
play
Yeah.
Stray.
What else is worth it is these banger simulators we've got. So
Oh.
I've got my
Yeah.
whole lot of pina colada. We've got about an hour to talk, and yeah, let's just get into it. So
Yeah.
I guess we can start with the rabbit hole that is Pokemon because they actually have two simulators, right?
Unfortunately.
And why is this unfortunate, Zeke, as our resident Pokemon expert?
Yeah, so I do not have a PTCG Live, so Pokemon Trading Card Game Live account. Because like when you make it, it'll merge like your online account, your Pokemon Trading Card Game online account to the Pokemon Trading
Okay,
Game Live
This looks
account.
familiar to me, and I played this one.
Yeah, okay, so the live, it was everything that like everyone wanted. Okay, that's how it was supposed to be. So, you can craft in Pokemon Trading Game Live, and you can play it on your phone. So Pokemon Trading Card
Okay,
Game,
mobile compatibility.
yeah, so online does not have mobile compatibility, except for like in a couple instances. Like Ricky, you have it on your phone.
I do
somehow.
have my phone. Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's only because I have it on an older phone and stuff. I have like the S20 or whatever, but
Yeah.
on newer models you can't do it. Yeah.
No, I mean I couldn't get it on my my flip.
Which is
So,
online, yeah.
but yeah, so like when you get live, it was like, oh, you can play it on your phone. You can do it like everywhere.
And there's a crafting system.
Crafting, which is amazing.
Yep, sounds great.
But I mean,
It's still in like beta.
it's still in beta. I'm hoping
It's super buggy.
it's so buggy.
Yeah.
I'm on like a couple Facebook groups because I still use Facebook, and there was one person. I'm on this like online Pokemon TCG group, and they're
You
like,
mean it's the TCG group? It's Burbank City.
well, I'm on that one, but I'm on a
Oh,
different
yeah,
one.
a different one. Yeah.
Yeah, and they posted this like picture they took, and it was like there's a couple bugs when playing
A couple.
live, and like one of them was like if one of your Pokemon has an ability to attach energy from your hand that doesn't count as like the one for turn because it's an ability, it might not work. If your Pokemon has an ability to move energies between your Pokemon, it might not work. If your Pokemon has an ability to transfer damage counters, it might not work. If you try to access your discard pile, it might not work. So there's just like all of these bugs, and there's like so many, and it's still in beta, so like hopefully it'll get better. The other thing is that with Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, the packs are pretty equivalent. So when you buy a
pack, you get that same booster pack in TCG Online. It's not the same cards you pull, but it's the same.
Yeah. So you still get 10 cards.
The codes, right?
Yep, it's the codes. Yes. So let's say you buy a pack of the newest set, Silver Tempest. In real life, you get your cards in Silver Tempest, and in TCG Live, you pull the same, or TCG Online, sorry. You pull the same number of cards from the pool of Silver Tempest. You're just buying a virtual pack.
So they're available virtually the same day you can buy.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, they literally make them like not tournament legal, and like you can play with them a little early, but like they don't make them tournament legal until the release dates, yeah.
Yeah, so I will say Pokemon Trading Card Game Online is pretty awesome. I mean,
it's great.
There's been like a couple of bugs, but they've been like fixed very quickly.
Yeah, I remember no game changing ones, and they're quick. They're fixed they patch it.
They patch it very quickly, and then like if a new set comes out, so like normally like a week or two before a new set is released, you have like the battle packs that you can get, the league battle decks.
Yeah, a little pre-release,
Yeah, so it's like 40 like pre-made cards, and then like 2 or 3 pack. I don't know. I think it's like maybe 4 packs. That seems a little generous.
A few, but
but it's like a couple packs of like the new set,
just to get a taste.
Yeah, and there's like a whole game thing you can play with it, which is really cool.
It's a draft, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cool draft.
It's like half draft, half sealed, which is interesting, yeah.
Yeah. And then as soon as those come out, you can pretty much already put those into online.
And then you can play them on like the ladder and stuff, but you can't play them in tournaments until
it's officially
TCG Online has tournaments too, yeah.
Yeah, and like it's really cool. You get like daily bonuses, which are really nice.
And they're like actual daily bonus. Like it's not just like, oh, here's like half a 10 pull because we got voted game. It's like here's like a pack of free cards.
Yeah,
which is insane.
You get a pack of free cards once a week.
Yeah, which is nuts. Because obviously you're like, oh, it's an online card game, but like for the people really into it, if you just imagine like you're just sitting at home, right, doing jack nothing, and then like imagine like Nintendo comes to your house once a week and like, here's a booster pack. I'm like, I didn't give you any money. It's like, here's a booster pack. So it's just like,
yeah, and that's,
literal free booster packs.
And that's the other thing, like,
that's free real estate.
It's free real estate.
I don't think you can use money with Pokemon Online.
Maybe not. You might be able to get like Pokecoins, but the main one is like people like buying codes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole different discussion.
No, we can talk about
that.
I love the Pokemon.
But I will say there's like you do get tokens, which like you get like a certain amount for like how many days in a row you log in, things like that, and you can use this to buy packs. Or one of my favorite things to do is because like I'm really nostalgic, and I remember like the first time I started to play Pokemon, I'll do like they'll have like pre-made decks for you.
Mm-hmm. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh version of like their structure deck tournaments, yeah.
Yeah, and it's so much fun to me because it's like going back to my roots where you're not doing like the crazy like turn 2 plays or anything like that. Like you're just
like I summon a monster, set 1 card face down, and end of my turn. Yeah.
Yeah, and I find that lots of fun. So like I normally save up my tokens and I'll buy that because I'll buy like the packs in real life. So I don't really feel like I need to buy the packs like with the online currency. And then you also get tickets, which you get for like going up the ladder. You get tickets. They just like give you so much free shit. It's amazing.
No, it's cool.
It sounds like you can unlock quite a bit of stuff.
Yeah, and like the only like paid part would be like when you buy like cards in real life. But it just feels like a bonus.
So here now we're gonna be talking about the third party thing. So I love this part. So So TCG Live, and even to an extent Master Duel, right? There's the crafting system, right? It's like you have this many gems, you have this many crystal, you have this many virtual currency in-game thing, where it's like you use this thing to craft single cards or buy booster packs, whatever you want to spend on, right? Most people are going to use it to craft the things. I guess in Master Duel, it's purely crafting, right? You have the ultra rare points, the super rare points, yada yada.
Yep.
And then online is unique where it's their older system. So TCG Live's still in beta. It's the one they're trying to move towards where it's like, this whole crafting idea. People can have whatever cards they want. But obviously there's a lot of game-breaking bugs right now that make it really tough. So
Plus, it just looks ugly.
yeah, hopefully they wrinkle that out. But their older one, which actually existed back when Austin and I played, and it's old.
Yeah.
But it's very... I don't know if polished is the word, but it's existed for a long time. It's figure out something that works. So what's interesting about this simulator is there's no way in the game to get single cards. Like, you can't just craft them. You can't buy them. You have to get booster packs only. But, the way and I think most people get the bulk of their cards is through their codes. So, as you buy booster packs, right, you get the codes. So theoretically, right, let's say you buy a box in real life, right? Now you have that many packs in the game also, assuming...
32?
Yeah, so you have that many packs in the game also, assuming you scan all the codes, punch them in the game, open up all the virtual packs, right? You're not getting the same cards, but you're going to seem like, pull rates, right?
Yeah.
It's just like online. It translates very well from tabletop to online. So what's interesting is people found out really, really quickly, hey, wait a second. I don't have to scan these codes. And they even found out, I think Austin and I remember this from tournaments we went to state championships. You might have seen them at regionals too. A lot of people, they just throw away their codes because not everyone plays the online, right? They're like, oh, well, I don't really have time to set up another card game on the computer and stuff and all that, all right? They'll just toss away. People scalpel them and stuff, be like, oh, yo, I'll take them off for half or so. And the retail, the market value of these is nuts. Because, if you buy a pack of Pokemon cards, it's $5 or something, right? $4?
Yeah.
It's not cheap.
Yeah, it's $5, yeah.
And, when you compare it to the codes, people will sell them in, bulk. We get, 100 of them for, $10 or so. It's ridiculous. Because again, a lot of people... Yeah, a lot of people just toss them away to something. But, it's and, people don't really see it as a real thing. It's it's online. It's buying Dogecoin, right? But if you're really into the online and you want to find a great way to test, instead of buying directly booster packs, you can just buy from third-party places the codes and stuff. And I remember, so back in 2015 when Austin and I played this game, the old-fashioned way, the boomer, when this was very new, the method was you would buy them from, a third-party site, and then you give them your mailing address, and then 2 weeks later, they would mail you an envelope of
full of the codes.
Yeah, 100 of these, and then you scan them on the little thing. Maybe I had the QR reader, maybe I didn't. I don't remember, but I remember punching them in by hand and stuff.
Oh yeah,
and
the QR reader is a time saver.
So nowadays, we've really stepped into the 21st century where you order them online, and then they'll just email you all the codes and stuff there, and they'll be this expires and so on and so forth, right? And then you can even copy and paste them into the thing. You can scan them with a QR reader, all that stuff. So
Perfect.
it's it's instant delivery and all that. You can get any deck you want for $10, $50 if you just buy bulk of these packs.
Yeah.
But then this is my favorite part. So Pokemon TCG Online, you can't buy single stuff, but you can trade with other players. And you can trade what you think you can trade, where it's oh, I have, this Lugia, I'll trade it for this Mew, I have this Charizard, I'll trade it for this Bulbasaur, yada yada.
Yeah.
But then the community is taking this a step further, and this is the most genius thing.
Create a whole economy.
You can trade packs. You can trade unopened packs in your game and stuff. I don't know why, but you can. I don't know if this was by accident or by design choice, but people found it really quickly. Hey, instead of me trying to open 80 packs of Silver Tempest to get that one Lugia V-Star and still have to pull 3 more Lugia V-Stars, I can just tell somebody on the trading thing, hey, if I give you 10, 20, 30 packs of Silver Tempest, you give me 1 Lugia. So now suddenly you have this universal currency, right? It's like the recession days of when the Russian ruble was so low that people in Russia were using cigarettes as a foreign currency, or I don't know if you know Angola, it's this country in Africa where their currency is so inflated that a million Angolan dollars is worth almost nothing, so they use mostly American dollars and stuff. Most transactions using Angolan dollars only used for the smallest transaction, a pack of gum or something. So it's the same thing in Pokemon TCG Online. Yeah, since you can't use real money, they're fine, I'll do it myself. They made their own currency, and there's this whole there's like websites dedicated to like tracking like how much like packs like a card is worth, what the value of like certain packs are as they get older and newer, like how in demand they are.
The conversion rate of older packs to newer packs.
Yeah, like it's like because it's like right, it's like generally like the newer packs are more sought after, but like if it's like a certain like it's so nuts, man.
Yeah.
It's a whole freaking economy,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
like
super awesome.
I love it. It reminds me of like going on TCG Play and like seeing the prices go up and down, right? Where it's like nobody like Nintendo didn't tell people this is what the price set out. They didn't tell people, hey, sell packs. It was just like if you ever want to see a perfect example of a free market, look at the TCG Online trading site.
And it's really cool. A lot of them also will show you like the
most recent
like
transactions. So
it's like the stock trend.
yeah, you literally
so
see the graph going up and down. It's nuts.
Like at this point, it was worth this much.
Yeah.
At this point, it's worth this much, and currently, it's this much.
So it's interesting, right? Like TCG Online, if you ask, does it have a craft day system? No, it does not. But like, it kind of does because people just figured out, like, oh, you can kind of like fake craft by just like holding on to packs and just using these as a form of universal currency.
It's also been around like forever.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's been around. I think it's near like 20 years old.
So the market's just like established. People have figured out like it's almost as old as like the New York Stock Exchange. Like people have figured out like the like general like precedents, like like rules and stuff to this, right? Mm-hmm. And like it's nuts, man. I love it.
Yeah.
It's literally like its own market that just kind of like spawned from the ether. It's so cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's TCG Online. I don't know if Austin wants to talk a little about Yu-Gi-Oh's great simulator.
Yeah. I mean, they got multiple simulators too, right?
They do, but the big pony is Master Duel. Yeah, this is
this came out this past year.
Oh yeah, it's big.
Yeah.
January probably.
And I will preface by saying like. I love TCG Live. I love TCG Online. I love Master Duel. Like, obviously, we wish like some things would be better, right? But like, I think that want for it to be better comes from a love of it, right? Like, we care about it, so we want to see it succeed. We don't want to see it flop. So, and there's a few things that could cause Master Duel and TCG Live to flop. So let's get into it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Master Duel. I wouldn't. I think it's been a pretty big success. It's
huge. It's insane how many people have downloaded this game.
It's making them a lot of money. And
so much money, yeah.
They're getting a lot of players playing the game, even if it's just a little bit.
Ludwig, Charlie, it's a huge streamer
when
game.
Master Duel came out.
Yeah, Disguised Toast, Saikudo, Lily Pichu.
I played Yu-Gi-Oh! 10 years ago.
It's literally the Yu-Gi-Oh! Equivalent of like the Chris Pratt interview. It's like, oh, I remember playing Mario back in the day and stopping on the Coopers and stuff. Like, and then you see people that's like, oh yeah, I remember playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, like summoning the Man-Eater bug and stuff. Like,
yeah.
Hopefully you flipped him.
Oh yeah. Oh, see that's how. Oh jeez.
Yeah, they they didn't get everything perfect in the game. For example, that was kind of why I was asking about getting those codes if they're available the same day.
They are, yep.
Because in Master Duel, they are months and months and months behind them.
So, okay, here's the crazy part is it's actually like this is insane to think about, in this context. In TCG Online, they're actually available before the physical copies. So a good example is like with Silver Tempest, right? It was available in stores like just for the sake of example, let's say like this Friday or something, right? And then but then I want to say like maybe 2 or 3 days before.
Yeah, online's like
quite a few days.
We updated.
They update it like a few days early just to get it ready, so that way like a million people aren't updating it on the Friday it comes out. And like you could actually buy.
You can probably
with
get any out of the way.
With but then with Pokecoins, you can buy like Silver Tempest like from like the straight up like Pokemon Online store and stuff, and get the packs early and stuff. You can't use them in tournaments yet or anything until like the actual official date. But like you can get them early, which is insane. Like so you can just test like before the day 0. Like sorry, so Master Duel though, they are quite behind.
I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like TCG, you can get the cards early like
2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I'm talking.
Master Duel is just its own format. It's not the same so Yu-Gi-Oh is pretty big worldwide.
TCG
Um,
and
but
OCG.
it's pretty much split into two formats that Ricky just mentioned: TCG and OCG. Um, OCG is pretty much like Japan surrounding areas,
Yep.
and then TCG is pretty much everybody else.
Europe, North America, South America,
Yeah.
Africa, like Middle East, like everywhere.
Yeah.
Australia,
So
sea.
is that just
Yep.
like release date wise, or like they're
It's a
like
lot of
so different?
things.
Because like
It's a
It's
lot.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's like people often talk about like, oh, TCG and OCG are two different formats. I always tell people they're two different games. It's like comparing like expanded Pokemon and standard Pokemon. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yes, they are both Yu-Gi-Oh, but like they are very different. The main ones being that, yes, obviously in Japan where Yu-Gi-Oh was invented, like they get their sets, I want to say maybe like 6 months before us, and then until it gets like, translated, like printed, shipped out to the rest of the world, right, in
I
TCG.
feel like it's closer to like 3 months,
Yeah, 3 months,
but
six, but they get them much earlier, right?
it's
yeah.
much earlier.
And then
Yeah.
there's also a different pool of cards. So there's OCG exclusive cards, TCG exclusive cards, yada yada. There's different rulings too, so like a way like cards interact with each other, and like for the most part it's consistent. But like there's a few niche examples
Yeah, like little
where
minute like
mhm.
differences that might, you know.
At like the highest competitive level, yeah, people would be like, oh, it's like that. That's not how it worked in TCG or something, right? And then like, yeah, their tournament structure is completely different too, as far as how they like qualify for worlds and stuff. It's like it's a whole thing. I mean, the obvious
Yeah.
thing too is the language thing, right? Their cards in Japanese, but yeah, no, it's interesting.
Yeah. And then Master Duel is great. It does have, most of the cards. There are 10,000 playable cards. And you can craft any one of them for the
Okay,
most part.
yeah,
The currency system is pretty decent.
it's
It could
amazing.
be better.
I would
But
it,
I think for the
it's
most part
yeah,
it's good.
it's really good. Yeah, it's actually like nuts how good it is. I think that was like the first day one thing people were talking about was like how good the crafting is in that game, because you really can just like pull packs, pull absolute garbage, but like as long as you're pulling ultra rares, you can be like, well, three of these is like any ultra rare in the game I want. Like it's quite good. And then on the bonus side, if you just pull that ultra rare that you wanted, right, it's like, well, that's three less I have to rip, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's really good. It's really good.
Yep. What else do I love about it? They've
How
been doing a
fast
whole
you can
bunch
get in
of
games, events,
events.
yep.
Yeah, the duels are super fast. There's great animations.
Oh, the
It's very
music,
polished. The
it's a
music,
banger, dude.
yeah, it's that guy playing the piano. The piano's
Yeah,
out.
it's just like then the violence, like the and like as the life points get low, you like like, oh my god, it's chef's kiss.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they got right on this game here, this simulator.
Yeah,
Um, should we talk about some things maybe they got wrong,
go for it. Yeah, yeah,
or
yeah.
in our opinion? I mean,
There's a few opinions we have about this game. Yeah,
I was kind of getting to it, but basically the format. It is its own unique. It is not the OCG in Japan. It's not the format they have.
and it's not the
Because
TCG that
it's
we
way
have.
behind their format, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's way behind our American format, which is behind their, the OCG format. So it's just completely unique to both of them, um, and that's fine. But it'd
If
be
you're like a
really great.
casual player, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be really great if there was, an official simulator where we could use the newest cards right away. Um,
Yeah.
I
So
think that's
yeah,
something a lot of competitive players are kind of longing for.
you want to be able to be like, oh hey, I just saw the sneak peek of like googly eyes gumfuck dragon and stuff. I gotta test this out and see how it works against my friends, right? I don't want to proxy cards by cutting them out and writing them in Sharpie. I want a proper simulator. I want to like play them. I want to see how they interact, right? And I can do that Master Duel, right? Nope, you can't. It sucks. So
That's probably my biggest gripe with it. But
So
what else do I not like?
I
trying to
have a
think.
quick question because I
Yeah,
know
what's up?
like almost nothing about modern Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, that's what we're here for.
How often are sets released? You said it's like really behind. Is
In general, I feel like every like month or 2. It's like the same as Pokemon. Every like month or 2 months, maybe 3 months. Like
so not all sets are created equal.
Right. A core set probably every maybe 4 a year. Yeah, every 3 months or so. Every season.
Oh, okay.
It's like the same as
that's
Pokemon.
like 100 brand new cards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like Pokemon has like their base sets.
Yeah, which is the core sets in Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, and then you have like the
little mini sets. Yeah,
like Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go is a good example of the mini set. So it's funny enough, the tier limit that we were talking about last week and stuff, the broken like I said 10 cards. They were the archetype tier elements was introduced in a core set, and then the next set, which was a mini set, kind of like the Pokemon Go thing, except for Pokemon, it just had like a bunch of like like reprint stuff, but then it had 4 like brand new like exclusive cards that were these a Shizu like Earth Fairy cards that happened. 2 of them happened to say I send the top 5 cards of my deck to the graveyard, and all the tier players were like, this would be great for our deck.
Yeah.
And it just raised them from tier 1 to tier 0. Like, no argument. Like, it's like, it went from, like, them being, like, 20% of the top 8 cut to, like 90% of the top 8 cut. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got, I think they even got, like, 2 core sets of support, right?
That's possible, yeah. They might have been introduced in, like, one set, and then got more support for their main members in another set. And then, Magnificent Mavens was the real set that just, like, went it off the scale.
So, again.
Oh, yeah, no.
So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not rotation, it's ban list.
Right, it's a lot like Pokemon's Expanded or Magic the Gathering's modern format, yep.
Yeah, and so, like, is tier limits able to be played on Master Duel at this point?
Not yet, thank God. Holy crap. Oh my God.
We're safe. We're safe for right
now.
We have to deal with the format that we do have, which it has a lot of cards that are banned in the trading card format.
TCG. I was gonna say I just play Floowandereeze in that, which is amazing already in tabletop. So it's like even better in Master Duel, yeah.
Yeah,
and
because the ban list is like kind of a blend of OCG, and
like
TCG.
That's for World, but it's its own unique ban list. But like the other thing is like in tabletop, like I just play Floowandereeze because it's like it can hold its own against tier limits. It's not favorable, but like it can hold its own. And then I go over to Master Duel, I'm like, I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
I'm like a gazelle with no predators. I'm like, this is great. Exactly. I'm just outrunning everyone. No, it's funny too because in Master Duel with their unique ban list stuff, there's a few Floowandereeze cards that are hit because they're like the deck's too strong, and I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like like they made a few minor changes. Like it definitely helps the other decks, but it's like it's like you can't kill the king.
Similar to like what happened with tier limits, right? They were like. Couple cards on the ban
hit a couple
list,
cards that had nothing to do with tier limit. It was even it's like it's the equivalent. Like I said before last episode, it's like the equivalent of like we hit Ultra Ball to decrease the consistency of like Lugia. It's like well every deck played Ultra Ball. It's like it's like they hit Herald of Orange Light, which is not a tier limit card. It's a fairy card. Which like yes, I suppose tier limits did play this, and yes, they did play 3 of this in their list. But it wasn't like a main engine card that got their combos going. It was more just like a support card. Yeah, kind of like a Pokemon item or like a Pokemon tool, right? Where it's like, yeah, I guess you could like take away Choice Belt or like pass the people. Like it doesn't get rid of like the main strategy, right?
Yeah. So,
like at the end of the day, you're still using Lugia Archeops comboing off, right? You're like, it's like, oh man, if only I had my Ultra Ball to search. It's like, it's like it doesn't really hurt you. It hurts, but it doesn't really hurt. Yeah, man, Master Duel. No, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all love them and stuff. We like to clown it, but like,
well, I think it's awesome. It was really cool during COVID too. So like with Pokemon, there was no locals. There weren't even regionals until like Salt Lake City of last year.
And that was huge, yeah. But then there was TCG online tournaments.
Yeah, there were TCG online tournaments. I mean, we go to anime conventions and stuff, and they're always like, we have a tabletop area.
And then there's
There's
a bunch of Magic players, like one table of Yu-Gi-Oh players, a few Cardfight Vanguard, a bunch of Wife Shores because it's like the anime game.
Yeah. And there was
And
no
it's me.
Pokemon.
It's just me and Zeke.
We were the
playing
only
Pokemon.
ones that play Pokemon.
Oh.
And so, like, it's
So
really...
you guys got first and second.
Yeah, for sure. But... but yeah, it's, like, really cool. I think, like, one of the nice things about online is that, like, you're able to reach... like the whole community, like
You're
not exactly
always
the
able
whole
to play a
community.
game.
Yeah, and like even like I mean, when you do play like the online simulators, you're not always playing against like the meta or like the like the big guys.
But you get to play a game, and
But
that's
you get
valuable.
to play a game, and that's
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. It helps you like not have to think when
Mhm.
you do play in real life. I mean, like
Oh, of
before we
course,
went to
yeah.
regionals, we played online with our like. I mean, I know
Yeah.
you did a bunch. I did too, where we just played the same deck over
Yeah,
and over
yeah,
and
yeah.
over and
It's
over
muscle
and over
memory.
again.
Get the reps in.
Yeah.
I remember a long time ago, back when Austin, again, I always talk about how Austin, but it's how I relate it back, but like, yeah, when Austin played in like 2015, we used to study a lot of like, because this was definitely way before COVID, but like, we would study a lot of tournaments that were happening, because they always live stream and stuff, and they had player interviews, and what I particularly saw was somebody asking like, oh, how do you like Tesla? And the guy was like, lots of Pokemon online. He's like, I played tons of it, and he was like, I know people clown about how it's like, oh, you're not going to play like meta decks and stuff, but he's like, he doesn't see it as like, play testing for tournaments. He sees it more as like, it's almost like solitaire, where like you're just kind of like practicing your like setup, how consistent your deck is, right? But then like you get to do it against like a real like human opponent that's like not just going to like, sit there, right? They're going to actually be attacking you, taking prizes, right? Where it's like, you got like coin flip so you can see how the deck goes first and second, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I remember back in the day, I used to play a lot of Super Smash Bros. 4 for the Wii U, and they had online, it was like Elite Smash and stuff, or whatever it was called, or like For Glory mode, I think it was, but like, a lot of people clown on that, because it's like, oh, like For Glory players are just like scrubs, they're just like online warriors, they're not like real players.
Or like
But
8-year-olds. Just...
Yeah, but like a lot of people talk about, well, it's like, yeah, if you want to practice like, like your real life tournament skill, you go to a tournament, see how good you are, right? But it's like, if you want to just practice like fundamentals and like matchups and stuff, it's great to go online because you could play against like anybody. It's like the same with TCG Online, it's same with Master Duel, right? Like, yes, you're not getting the tournament experience where you're like sitting down, you're like paying a huge entry, and like people are like try-harding best 2 out of 3, but it's like, you're still getting like a pretty good general feel of like, this is what this deck does, this is what this deck does, You're not getting like the highest level of it, but it's like, it's a good like little dip your toes in everything, it's a little smorgasbord of everything. It's cool.
Yeah. I like it a lot kind of for that reason. You can kind of like, with Yu-Gi-Oh decks, I guess you get to like flex your muscles a little bit. You get to cook something up,
What was he cooking? Hold up. Let him cook. Yeah.
Let him cook.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead.
it's gonna sound like I'm shitting on Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's
Your
not what
favorite
I'm
hobby next to shitting on Magic
Yeah.
players.
No,
Disclaimer, I do not shit on Magic, Pokemon, or Yu-Gi-Oh players. I love players of all communities. This is only Ezekiel's opinion. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So if you can't use Master Duel, which is like the big simulator.
Oh boy, is there
Right,
another
because
one?
it's like
Yeah.
months behind. The ban list is
Wow.
different.
Do I have a site for you? Do I have a site for you? Welcome to the World of Dueling book. If it'll load.
Here
for
we
me.
are. It's a dueling book.
Oh man, look at it.
With the ads.
Oh yeah, it's
Love
beautiful. It's beautiful. Good old... Oh, it's wintertime, so they got a little snowman eater and stuff. It's great, man. It's great.
Top tier card.
Oh yeah, and then
Here
like
we are.
This gives me Neopets vibes.
yeah.
It's
so,
very
like,
like Flash. Yeah.
oh man, they got some banger stuff here, man. Like so like you got this little you got like all the cards and stuff, right? You can like shuffle it up. You can like search your deck for stuff. You can play against like real people. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. We'll see.
So this is what the kids call a manual simulator because you have to manually move all the cards everywhere.
As opposed to an automated one. Yeah, so you notice like I can just do like illegal plays where I like, I don't know, like put this in the freaking like
Switch it to
over here.
defensive
Yeah. Because it's really like the virtual version of just playing tabletop, where you can literally do anything with the cards.
Yeah.
Because it's not rules enforced. It's not automated simulator like Master Duel or TCG Live. But like, yeah, so like in a real game, you'd be like typing to your opponent like, I summon Blue Eyes White Dragon, fuck, and stuff like that. Yeah, it's great.
Is there like text lingo?
Yeah. So it's like, I summon Blue Eyes White Dragon, homie. GG, easy, LOL. Yeah.
Eaglin F.
Yeah. Aglin F. You only
For
won
effect.
because you play tier 1 noob. LOL. Yeah, my dad works at Konami or something, it's like... Yeah, no, it's great.
And then they call a judge, and then you wait for...
Oh, the judges, dude! Yeah, there's when you're...
So is it like a moderator?
It's a mod, yeah. So
Yeah.
Dueling Books run by a third party. It's just fans that really, really love the game, and they're so like dedicated to the cause that they're like, fine, I'll do it myself. They made their own because this is really impressive when you think about it's just made by dudes in their basement.
No, this is killer.
for because it's literally just they don't make profit or anything. It's just for they have little donations thing if you want to support them, but mainly it's a passion project. It's there was one time they had moved the servers from one dude's basement to another basement just because they didn't have enough bandwidth the judges in ranked mode is just mods and stuff. So you send an email, they do a little test stuff and basic rulings comprehension. And you can be a moderator, and then in a real game, you'll have a little judge button where you hit it, and they'll be like, okay, a moderator will be on their way. And, because there's so many people, think of, imagine locals where there's, 10,000 people at this locals, and there's 100 judges. They're all playing 24/7, and the judges still have to eat, sleep, right? They're not sitting at the computer. So, if a judge just happens to be there, they'll be show up, be like, oh, guys, what's up? But, you can wait as short as 5 minutes, you can wait as long as an hour or two or eternity. Oh, it's great. I love it.
Yep. So basically, don't need a judge for anything.
Yeah. Just figure it out. Gentlemen's
So
agreement.
my big this is gonna sound absolutely nuts, but I gamed the system where if I play ranked mode and I start, I just play my cards and stuff, and I'll ask, of course, I'll be oh, do you have a response? I'll type in the chat, right? They'll nope, and a lot of people expedite the process. They'll be oh, I have no effects, just go do your whole thing, because they don't want to type every time you do a thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe 1 out of 10 games, I'll play a card, and the guy's that's not how this card works. I'll just immediately quit and surrender. I don't even this sounds nuts. This sounds suicidal, because most people will die on a hill. They'll call a judge. They'll wait an hour, but the amount of time it takes for you to judge call, you could have played 3 other games. Yeah. So I found out it's actually faster to lose a game, lose some points, and then win 3 games later on, and then just get the points back, then wait a whole ass hour to win 1 game. It sounds suicidal, but
But it would feel good, right?
Yeah, but because I found out it's just faster, because it's yes, theoretically there's a world where everyone knows oh, Ricky Lee's this guy will scoop if you do a ruling, and but most times you're playing at random. They know I don't most people don't know I do this, so it's 90.
Right.
I actually would say 9 out of 10 players I'll play will just play the game, never call a single ruling, because we just both know what the ruling is, and you just play it out. And 1 out of 10 games, I just get that guy that just has never been to a tournament and doesn't know ruling. I just hit the quit button. I just give him the W and move on. It's actually not worth it for me.
All right, you heard it here first, kids. If you go up against Ricky,
yeah, just call out any ruling. I'll scoop to you. It's not worth it. 'Cause it's just oh man,
I think it's even extra amazing that there's a ranked mode to this.
No, it
that's crazy to me.
It was, yeah, I know.
I mean, with Pokemon Online, right? There's ranked.
There's the ranked ladder.
Going up the ladder. Mm-hmm. There's the tournaments, but that's run by the Pokemon
official
company,
thing, right?
Which
yeah.
is like 1/3 Nintendo,
yeah,
1/3 Game Freak,
and then the third like the Pokemon company. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like the fact that like you're like there's this like huge like corporations involved in it, and I'm like yeah,
Here's
like I kind of
one.
expect that, but like having like a dozen guys in a basement making this.
So yeah,
Like,
even though
It is very, very awesome.
it's going from manual simulator, automated simulator, dueling book to master duel, whereas TCG online, TCG live, it's strange. You're going from automated to automated. I feel like this is like probably the best comparison you can think of, where like you've got the Chad master duel and like the Chad like TCG live, where it's like you can tell this is each company's like favorite child, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like Nintendo's really or I guess it's the Pokemon company is really pushing like TCG live. They like they're always trying to improve the bugs. They really want to get like released on time.
They started promoting live
on the packs and stuff
on
before the game was even
Fusion
out in
Strike.
like alpha. Yeah,
and Fusion Strike.
it's like they
Like,
really wanted to kick off the ground. And like same thing, right? Like Master Duel, like they had like announcement, they had like E3 things, everything. Like they really want both these games to be successful. Unlike Magic the Gathering's interesting too. They have two simulators. There's Magic the Gathering Arena, which is their Master Duel. It's their TCG Live. It's like way newer and stuff. It's more polished, but like there's a lot of complaints stuff because you can't play like modern or legacy formats. And then I don't know what the name of it, but they have an older simulator, which is like their TCG Online. It's still manual, it's still automated stuff, but it's like older, so it like looks a little clunkier, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at Pokemon TCGO, Dueling Book, right, where it's like obviously it's not as polished, right? You don't get all the fancy like bells and whistles, but it's like this is like
you don't get the strobe effects of live.
Yeah, you don't get a
There's no get lightning.
Yeah, you don't get like you unlock 10 gamer points for the achievement, but it's like it's just like these bare bones like I play a card, the card does this, like it's.
But I feel like that's what I look for when I play a TCG. Like we all say we want like Yu-Gi-Oh with like the holograms, which honestly that would be awesome.
That would be cool. But
that would be cool.
At the end of the day, it's a card game. You want to just
I want to like see my card and then like
playing on table.
If it does like a cool little animation when you attack, like that's fine. Like that's like a nice little twist. I don't need to see like the crazy.
You don't need like a 30-minute cutscene of like Lugia like coming out and being like, you must gather the crystals.
Did you ever see the video of like the Chansey that got like knocked out by a low kick? It's like a level 100 Chansey.
Oh, it's like this crazy animation.
No, it was on Diamond or Pearl or something.
Oh yeah,
it takes so long. It takes like the
3
HP
bar.
minutes
I know what you're
for
talking
his
about.
HP bar to go down to
'Cause he has so much health. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I feel sometimes when they're like trying to like too much fancy stuff. And I will say like with online, they do a really cool thing with attacks. So like like most Pokemon have like multiple attacks. So, like, if you do, like, the one attack that takes the less energy, does, like, a little bit of damage, it's, like, boom, right?
Oh, yeah, no, you do the big, it'll be like, it goes boom! Yeah, the
like,
sound effects. You get a cool volcano shot, yeah.
Yeah, and it, like, depends on, like, the type of Pokemon, depends on, like,
so
what
Psychic,
it looks
you
like.
get, you get, like, these energy beams coming down, like, Dragon, you get these big fangs chomping down.
Yeah.
And, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't say that you get, like, the card floating out, but then you get this little, like, poosh!
Yeah. You can feel the attack. I feel like that's really cool.
You can feel it. Like there's weight to it. It's interesting because it's like, how do you translate like these physical cards into like a virtual screen? Right. Yeah. I mean, even this, like they got this little sword that comes out when you like pew. Yeah. It's like just like a little quick. I mean, in real life, ESPN. They broadcasted Magic the Gathering like way back in the day. I don't remember if it was like World Championship, but it was like a tournament.
ESPN 8?
No, I think it was like ESPN. Oh, maybe it was ESPN too, but like it was ESPN nonetheless.
Yeah.
And what one thing they added that has stayed in the Magic community since was they had this. They redesigned the playing zone to make it more accessible to spectators. And the big thing they did was they invented this thing called the red zone, where like you'd have your players' cards on like their side of the mat. The opponent's cards on their side of the mat, and then the middle of the mat was this big, gigantic red rectangle where when you attack, you'd put your monster in this big, gigantic red rectangle, and they'd call it the red zone. So then, like, people that are spectating the thing on ESPN that have never played Magic could see, like, oh, all these creatures are, like, jumping in the rumpus pit and, like, hitting the red zone.
Duking it
They're
out.
going at it.
They're going at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're having a rumpus. And, like, to this very day, like, commentators will still refer to, like, every time, like, people attack to be like, oh, he's sending, you know, like
into the red zone.
yeah, he's sending, like, Garuntha Nex and, you know, Bishabosh into the red zone. Yeah. It's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's very awesome. So I guess the interesting thing I wanted to bring up, too, is why does any of this matter, right? Because it's like, right, okay, it's like, okay, you know, Zeke, Austin, Ricky, you know, if that's her real names, right? If you guys love dueling books so much, right? If TCG Online is such a perfect simulator, right? Then why do you even care that Master Duel should be getting better? Like, why would you care that Live needs to get better? Like, but I think for us, it's because we all know the pain of, like, you know, jumping on Dueling Book and waiting 40 hours for a judge, right? We all know it's like accessibility, right?
Yeah.
You jump on TCG Live or Master Duel, you get in a game like that. Like, you're just in a game.
It doesn't matter, like, what time you go to play for like online.
Yeah.
Like, I've played, like, entire nights before, and no matter what, I, like, instantly get a game. If not instantly, it's, like, 5 seconds. Like...
It's probably like, I mean, this might sound stupid, but it's probably like worldwide, right?
It's worldwide,
It's
yep.
worldwide. Yeah, because
that's
so like
the same with Master Duel.
yeah, so like with online you can like talk to each other, but it's like pre-selected things like hello and you have a good deck or like woo that was close and then like emojis. So like it's pretty easy to like communicate with people, I feel like. So like you always like I always start and I'm like hello and then like
You have a good deck.
yeah.
It's like the Club Penguin chat. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's preset.
Preset, yeah.
yeah, the preset cuz like I mean my mom locked it where like I couldn't go to any worlds where you were allowed to like type. You could only do the preset
Getting
ones.
banned from Club Penguin speedrun.
No, it was
Type
like,
the F
it
word
was like
twice.
it was like inability to be banned from Club Penguin. Yeah, I could only say like, let's go to the pizza shop.
Yeah. Hello,
Oh, we
user
love
11754. Yeah. Or yeah, no, like the thing for me is so we've talked about Dueling Book and I don't even play those. I play this really janky one called Dueling Nexus. Right here. And this is an unofficial simulator. It's yeah, it's something.
It's animated.
It's automated, yeah.
You're
It's
dang right it
something.
is. Ezekiel.
But yeah, so so if I had to talk about like the populations of the game, like Master Duel, probably millions of players, if not multi-millions of players. And then Dueling Book, probably like 10,000s of players, maybe 100,000, maybe a million. Like there's a lot of people playing it. Not as many as Master Duel, but like, you know, quite a lot. Dueling Nexus, on a good day, maybe 10,000 players. On a bad day, maybe 1,000 players, which you say that's a lot. But like, if you think about globally, right, in the world, if I'm playing on a Wednesday night and I'm on like the Grandmaster like ladder, it's going to take like 40 minutes for a game to even start before I find someone like relatively close to ELO. You know, like they'll disconnect randomly, right? Like bugs happen and stuff.
Yeah, that McDonald's Wi-Fi, yeah.
And yeah, no, I think at the end of the day, our complaints about like, you know, Master Duel or TCG Live comes from like our love of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh, right? We don't want to see these things fail. We actually, it's the contrary. We want to see these things succeed, right?
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of like the bad parent being like, come on, Jimmy, you know, why aren't you scoring, right? You're not doing it out of hate, you know, even though it is a hateful thing. You're doing it out of like tough love where it's like you want to see this thing succeed.
Yeah. Well, like another, I don't think this has like much to do with like what you were just saying.
Oh, no,
but like one really cool thing I liked about like Pokemon Online, which I don't know if you've noticed this, but it's literally you're playing on a table.
Yep, that
There's
is
a
cool.
table in the
Yeah.
background.
There's a virtual table.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and if you look, there's like a bunch of scratches on the table. Like this table has been used for like years for like you to play
really
like
sets
the card
scene.
game.
Yeah, no,
And
I
it's,
think
like,
that is important.
It just feels like
I mean,
very homey in a way.
Even when you're like doing dice rolls and coin flips, they make the little like ding sound, or like the you know, like it, because it is important. Like right, they don't have to do that. If they want to, they could just do a random number generator and make it like boop, boop, you know, like a little text box. But like, where's the fun in that, right? Because at the end of the day, like we're just playing the games for fun, right? Even if you play competitively, you're playing because you have fun winning the game or fun, you know, fun playing the game competitively. You know, there's always some aspect because it's like, you know, why play cards at all, right? Like if we really wanted to, like we could just like play cookie clicker and watch numbers go up the screen, right? Like everyone's got their thing, we love like picnic modes in Scarlet. We love like summoning a million monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh. We love like playing our favorite Pokemon in TCG.